Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this MUCAR 682 AI-assisted bidirectional OBD2 scanner. So this is provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost anything extra. We have some features listed on the back. It has a 6.2-inch HD display, supports OBD2 and eOBD. So let's get this open. Here we have a quick start guide. Let's take a quick look at it. So it shows the different parts here. This talks about connecting it to the car. This talks about some of the different features. We have Q&A and warranty. So let's pull this out. So here we have the cable to connect it to your OBD2 port. We have a USB-A to USB-C charge port. This looks like a cover for the cable. I think that's everything in here. So let's look at this. So this is made of hard plastic here, and we have kind of a rubberized coating. If we look on the sides here, we can peel this open, and we have the USB-C port, and we have a micro SD card port. Not much on the back. We have the power on switch here, so I'll power this on. I'll hold this down. It's booting up. Let's get this charging too. So you can charge this with USB. So I'll plug in here. And plug into my phone charger. And I'm currently charging at 1.09 amps. So that can vary depending on the state of charge of the device. I'll turn my light off here. So we have a welcome screen. I'll hit start. So we have some little notes here. Looks like it's mostly ready to go. Before I use it, I want to connect up to the Wi-Fi, so I can drag down from the top and I can choose my Wi-Fi network. Now I'm going to go to upgrade. There we go. So I'll run through the upgrade here. This will have all of the different cars. So I think they're probably all selected by default, so I'll just hit upgrade. So I'm going to let this finish upgrading. I'll let it finish charging, and then we'll go test it out. Okay, so I'm out here at my Subaru Outback. It's winter time, so it's a little dirty right now. But I have the scan tool. I plug this connector into the back of the scan tool and tighten down the thumb screws. The other end has the OBD2 connector. Now I only have two hands, so it's kind of hard to plug in while showing you, but this is going to plug in the connector right here. Of course, this is narrower at one end, so you want to make sure you plug it in the correct orientation. So we can tell this is plugged in. If we look at the top, it says the voltage is 12.37. Now that's not necessarily the battery voltage, that's the voltage it's reading at the connector, but it should be pretty similar. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the car on. And I'll tap on diagnose, and we'll do auto search, and I'll hit enter. And it's doing a VIN scan. So it found my car. So now I hit automatic search. I'll say yes. I'll say Outback, and I'll say health report. So this is going to show all the different potential issues on your system. So if we scroll down through this, we can see I have like anti-lock braking system, tire pressure monitoring system. So let's click on one of these. So on the right, we have two options. We have MUAI or Google search. So let's go to the tire air pressure low. Let's try the MUAI. So it says the tire for air pressure reduction, normal mode, vehicle failure, circuit system inspection. We'll tap on that. I'm going to skip this up here at the top. So this gives us guidelines on what is wrong. So this has a little article here about the tire pressure monitoring system. Now we can also just do a regular Google search. So for some things you might want to try both and see which has the most clear instructions. And this gives an idea of what the problem is. I don't see a back here, but there's a back button on the front, so I'll just hit back. We can go back in here. So you can also clear the DTCs at the bottom. Now, I'm just going to leave these in here. Now, a lot of these have happened in the past and they're just in here for historical purposes. They're not active codes. So I'll go back. Now I can also do system scan or system selection. So system scan is going to be similar. I'll go to actual system selection. And here we can look at all the systems on it. Let's go to the engine control module. And here we can read fault codes. So we did that with our system health scan. We can clear the fault codes. We can read data streams. So if we go to that, we have all of these different systems we can check. Let's see if there's a pedal. So I can actually search. So accelerator position. Let's do that. So here I have the accelerator position. So if I press down on this, we can see that go up and down. Now I'm not sure why it's at 13.3. I don't have the car running right now. But if I press it down, you can see this is changing. So we can also look up, say, temps. So we can do ambient temperature, coolant temp, say OK. And here we have two different things here. Now these are both at 55.4 degrees. That's pretty impressive. And this car has just been sitting here. So it looks like they're pretty calibrated with each other. Now if I start the car and run it, you're going to see the coolant temp go up, assuming that the sensor is working. And it is, as far as I know. Now we can also graph this. So this is going to show a graph and we can see how these change in relation to each other. So there's countless data points here that you can actually pull up. So looks like we're at 251 and that's just in this one system. The other systems will have their own data points. But let's go to actuation test. And here we have different things we can actually affect. So this is the bidirectional control. So here we have radiator fan relay. I can tap that and it says please check the following conditions. We want to be in park or neutral. We want to be stopped and I'll hit OK. Let's do with monitoring data. Let's see if we can find the fan. Let's look at the relay. And we'll tap on radiator fan relay off and we'll hit start at the bottom. So it just kicked on. And it's clicking on and off. Now typically to test that you would have to potentially bring the engine up to temperature and you're relying on other systems and hoping they're correct. With this you can actually actuate that relay, kick it on and off, and you can test that relay independent of the other systems. So that's just one of many bidirectional control tests you can do on here. So I'll hit back. So let's go ahead and start this up. Let's go back in here. Let's go back into read data stream. And I'll find something here we can look at. So here we have the engine speed. Let's pull a graph up. And we can see it's at 1700 RPM. Now if I hit the gas, we can see that rise up. If I let go, we'll see it go down. So we could add in other things like the temperature, throttle position sensor, and look at them in relationship to each other. Now you can also record this. So you can go on a drive, record it, and then analyze it when you get back. So you're not having to stare at this while you're driving. So that's a really nice feature. So I'll go ahead and shut the car off. I'll turn it back on. Now that file we recorded, we can offload USB, or we can place a micro SD card in the unit and copy it onto the micro SD card. So I'm going to go back. And I'll go back to the main screen. Now under diagnose, we also have just regular scan, and then you can enter your VIN in if auto search doesn't work. We have OBD2, history, report, feedback, dollar fixed community, and the AI assistant. So we looked at reading codes and doing bidirectional control, but also has some maintenance modes on here. So if we go to maintenance, we're going to have a whole bunch of different modes here. I'm going to scroll all the way to the right. It's kind of hidden here, but I have this little block icon, and that's going to list out all of the different things on one page. So this lists the different maintenance modes we have. So, we have injector coding, airbag reset, gear learning, steering angle reset. So a common one that I use is brake pad reset. So I'll tap on that. So if you're changing the rear brakes out and you have electronic parking brake, you might need that. So this is going to load it. So we have a note here. I'll hit OK. So it has a list of cars. I'm going to choose my car. I'll do the search. It says switch the ignition on. I'll say OK. And it has two modes here. It says brake maintenance mode and normal brake mode. So if you're going to be swapping out your rear brakes, you would run the first one here and it will tell you what to do. It will retract the pads. You can change your pads out and then you go back to normal brake mode. And I think on this one you hold down the brake pedal and it recalibrates it. It readjusts it. So if you work on your own brakes on modern cars with parking brakes, this is a vital tool to have. So that's the MUCAR 682 bidirectional OBD2 scanner. I really like all the features built into the scanner. It's easy to use. You plug it in, and especially on modern cars, it will do auto VIN scan, so it can take you right to your diagnostic codes. So this is great for looking up codes, but it's also great for bidirectional control if you're doing things like tire pressure monitor systems, swapping out brakes, relearning gears. Now this is built on top of an Android system, so when you connect it to Wi-Fi, you can do updates and things like that to it. It has a built-in Chrome browser. Now I only scratched the surface of what you can do with this. Now when you look up those trouble codes, it has the MUAI or the Google search built right in, so you don't have to go to a separate device to look up and do research on the codes. And this also has features built in, like the dollar fix community and screen sharing, so you can get assistance from other people in fixing your car. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.